Hello everyone! In this video I have another junk journal process to share with you in my little junk journal that I've made myself, just a little signature thing. You may have noticed I haven't decorated the front cover yet either, and I just haven't decided what I want to do on the front of it, but once I do decide I will probably, maybe, don't know yet, share it in a video. But I just wanted to start off the video here just to show you some more things that I have listed in my shop this week. These are printable kits or printable sets for junk journaling. This first one here is all library tickets and little bits and pieces found in books, mostly vintage, couple of antique ones there. And then this set here is vintage adverts. These are all from a newspaper from 1947, and I think they're fabulous. Old-fashioned adverts, I love them. There's some well-known brands in there like Max Factor, and then some other brands that are obviously long gone. But anyway, yes, I just wanted to show you those because I am going to use a couple of these little bits and pieces in the pages I do today. I also wanted to ask you guys about printables because I do know that there's some people out there who are not inclined to printables, so for whatever reason. So just your opinion on whether I should offer them as printed as well. So I would print them and cut them up and post them out. Just if I don't want to list it if no one's interested in that, but just putting it out there, let me know your thoughts on the matter. So let's talk about the actual journaling, shall we? So I have pulled out some bits and pieces from both my big drawer of stuff to journal and my big drawer of pretty papers and stuff to also use in journaling. And I have, well, to explain, last year in October, I think, I got sent the most wonderful box of amazing goodies from a lovely lady in the States, and I keep everything. I've already used some of the bits and pieces she sent and done a creative journal on it, I think. I don't know if there was a video for that, actually, thinking about it. But anyways, I've gathered a fair few bits and pieces that she sent me and just want to use it in my junk journal here. So I've got the main letter she sent me. You can see it's on A4 and it's folded. I'm not going to show you the inside because des personal, but I'm going to sort of decorate the outside parts of the letter. So she sent me a printed map of the States to point out where she lived and where she grew up and stuff. So I've folded that up and I'm sticking that on there. And then I'm also going to, like, throughout the box she had all these little lovely notes explaining different bits and pieces she sent, and again I've kept all those and I'm going to add a couple of those to here. Those pretty grid squares I'm using there, those are from the Daphne's Diary from last year. I used it for about, maybe not quite half the year, but for a good few months of the year until I figured out that it didn't quite work for me, but it was so beautiful inside that I kept a lot of the pages for using like this. And this one with the grids, with all the different pictures inside, I just thought I wanted to use that, and I'm actually, it stretches quite far, like in using for these couple of pages I do here. So just using it as a bit of backing at the moment. The washi tape I'm using, I don't remember where that's from actually. It may have just been from like one of those cheapy sets in tubes, but it looks like the airmail stripe, so that's why I'm using that. And then there was this little card, like one of the many things that she sent me, so I've put that on there. And then again, I'm just using those little grids just for simple decoration, going around the edges of a lot of things at the moment with Distress Oxide in pumice stone, just because I thought using a browny vintage photo-y colour, at least on this bit, wasn't quite right. So anyways, I figured out, I'd done all that letter and I was going to put it in that pocket you can see on the left there, and then the pocket wasn't big enough. Duh, should have checked that first. So, and then I went through my journal and realised I didn't have any pockets that were big enough, so I thought, let's just create one. So I've just marked on that page there how much room the letter needs to take up, put double-sided tape outside of those marks, and then I'm just using this little paper here, which again was sent from that person, just this beautiful sort of acrylic-y mixed media project there. So I'm using that as a pocket. Obviously put the double-sided tape down so it's secure, but I am putting washi tape over the top just for prettiness's sake. Oh, this washi tape, oh my goodness. It is so pretty, look at it with the blue watercolour dots, I love it, but my goodness, it is rubbish. It's from Paper Mania. I picked it up in the range ages ago and it was on sale when I got it, so I think they'd already realised that it was a bit of a fail of a project, but it's so pretty, but it just rips when you take it off the roll, and it's not very sticky, which is why I was putting some glue down there to help it stick. And then some of the rip pieces, they kind of went really nicely with that pocket that I created, so I was like, let's just whap them on there. That little tag that I just wrote on, I'm going to use that as a sort of a tab on that letter to pull it out of the pocket, but I've written it on it with a white gel pen, so I'm just giving that a long time to dry. And then I wanted to pull out some of my little vintage bits and bobs. This is one of the adverts. It says something about, do you know what royalty reads? You should read what the royalty read by you using our company or whatever. I just love these old-fashioned adverts. They crease me up. Anyways, there was also this little card included in that stuff, and it says something about being creative on the back. I forget what it says now, but it was just really lovely and I wanted to include it. And then I realised that one advert I got out wasn't quite matching what I had going on that page, so I picked out this other ad which is for Royal Oak Brandy or something. It's got that green in the background. I also love this particular advert because adverts were simple back in the day. All it says is a really good brandy. I was just like, straight to the point. I like it a lot. Anyways, but I still wanted to use that other piece that I pulled out, so I've just taken an old book page here, gone around the edge with vintage photo, and I'm just gonna glue it down onto the front of that pocket. There it is. I can't remember what language that book page is in. Someone saw it on Instagram when I used it in another project, and they were like, "Oh, it's my language," and I've totally forgotten what one it is. I'm so sorry. I'm so ignorant. I should have double checked that first. But anywho, again, went round the royalty advert with the vintage photo and stuck that down on top of the ripped paper, and then I'm just taking that little tag, putting some twine at the top and going around the edges of that as well, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of double-sided tape at the very bottom, and then it's like a little tab like that, so you can pull it out like so. So what else am I going to do here? Oh, there's these little tickets. I thought I'd include that. It's quite these pages are slightly more, there is obviously a vintage vibe to them, but they're a little bit more bright and colourful, I suppose, than your often seen junk journaling thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, vintage is, I love it so much. It's my kind of my favourite aesthetic, but junk journals don't have to be that, if you know what I mean. You can make them whatever colour you want to, or just use vintage things, but they don't have to be brown. They can be pink, and they can be green, and they can be yellow, and anyways, I'll shut up. That little thing I'm playing around with there, that was again in my box of scraps. It was already created into that sort of tag shape, so I've just left it as that, put some twine at the top, and I think I'll go back and do some more with that in a little bit. And then for this side of the pocket, I found this beautiful pink thing here with like the print on it, so I thought I'd do a very like bold and colourful side, because the other side's got the vintagey look with that old paper and the distress oxide and vintage photo and stuff, so I was like, let's do a bright side on the other side. So I'm going around the edge of that again with the pumice stone, using some more of those grids from the Daphne's Diary thing. I pulled out one of my book tickets or library tickets that says Cheltenham Ladies College on it. You have to say it like that, by the way. You can't say Cheltenham Ladies College. You have to say Cheltenham Ladies College, darling. Anyway, sorry. I did pull out a big one to use, but it was too big, so I got the little one instead. Found that sticker in my shop stash with the lady with the binoculars. I just kind of liked her and thought she'd go on there well. Add a little bit of washi. Another one of these little grids things, little squares from the Daphne's Diary page. I think I managed to use all of them, actually. And then this little box you can see just on the left there, this is like my sticker version of a scraps bucket, so it's scraps of stickers. Anyway, I saw that sticker that said yes, and I'm one of those horrendous people who say yes all the time. I know it annoys a lot of people, but I don't care because I love it, so I put that on there. And a seagull, I think, just went yes outside. It wasn't talking to you. What am I doing? Adding some more stickers, gold bits and pieces. Now, what I put in that little tag there, I didn't show it because it had a lot of personal information on it, but it was the customs declaration from the front of the package. I told you I keep everything. So I thought I'd include that. I folded that up and tucked that into that little folded over tag. And then because it was a customs declaration, I have this little Midlands Bank slip for customs. It's not for customs, but you know, something like that. That's in the book tickets pack. I know it's a bit random, but I found it in a book, so that's why I put it there. But I thought that kind of matched the whole theme of the customs thing, so why not use that? Decorated with a bit of washi there, pulling out some bits from my sticker scraps. There was like a little stamp and some airmail stuff. These ones I'm using here were like left over from a planner kit and were snail mail and airmail themes, so I thought I would use those. And then, so for the other side of the tag that you're going to see on the other side of the pocket with the brighter things, I found this fox in my box of things, one of my many boxes of things. This was sent to me by a pen pal, and I just thought I would colour it a little bit with some Distress Oxide. I just dabbed it on lightly because otherwise it would smudge the ink, because I think it must have been printed on inkjet, because yeah, it tends to smudge when you go over the top with oxide. But yes, I used Spun Sugar, which is the light pink, and then went in with the Worn Lipstick, which is the brighter pink. And then just a little cluster of things on here, a few more little stickers, just layering them up, little clusters. I can't read what that thing says there. It says something nice on it. I can't, and my screen is really teeny tiny at the moment. I can't read what it says. I'm sorry. What am I doing? Adding more of those little squares. I just thought they were really cute and really nice things to add, like lots of pops of colour. Daphne's Diary stuff is great for journaling. It really, really is. I've actually stopped getting the magazine, and it's going to be controversial here, but I found the magazine in the last part of 2018, it was fewer and fewer pretty things to cut up and more of the articles. And I don't want to offend anyone who enjoys the articles, so I won't go into it in too much detail, but let's just say they're not for me. So yeah, there was just fewer and fewer, as I said, of the pretty things to cut up, and more of these articles about like a random tea shop in the south of France. Like, I don't care. That sounds awful, but anyways, point being, I stopped getting the magazine, but I have plenty of leftover bits. My best friend bought me one of their paper packs for Christmas, which has got loads of stuff in it, so I used that. But anyway, I'm going to shut up now about Daphne's Diary. On the reverse of that card, I did like a faux stitching effect. I added some flower stickers, again, leftover bits and pieces, and that is pretty much it for these spreads. So thank you so much, as always, for watching. I also wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who has supported my little shop since opening a couple of weeks ago. It has been great. I'm so grateful to you all. Thank you so very much. As I said, those printables will be listed when this video is published. I've got some slim junk journals that will hopefully be listed tonight or tomorrow, and I'm working on a new collection, new designs for stickers and for ephemera and things, so look out for those. But anyways, yes, links in the description as always. Thank you so much for watching. I'm now going. Thanks again. Bye bye.